Hi, I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful Beet Kvass. It's a lovely tonic that you can drink, fermented tonic, so it's really great for your digestive system. It's really great for cleansing your liver. So if you're working on your digestion, you're working on your bile flow, you're working on cleansing your liver, this is a great little one to start with. You take it as a little shot, as a drink. I mix it with some sparkling water and some lemon and drink that sort of before your meals. Is a really nice time to drink it to get all those digestive juices going. So I'll show you how to do it. I like to make it in this smaller jar to start with, otherwise you get a little bit overwhelmed, and it works really well doing it in a jar about this size. This is one I've done before, so it's ready to pop, so we'll pop that at the end and see how that's turned out. So all you'll need is a jar with, you can use the airlock lids, but I find it works really well with a jar about this size, so give that a try. You need a beetroot. You only need one good sized beetroot. About that size I find works for a jar that size, because you just put it down the bottom and cover it, and then the Beet Kvass starts with the liquid that's above that. You need some good quality salt. I use the Celtic salt. You can use pink salt, whichever one you've got is fine, and some filtered water. So we'll start off by making the brine that ferments the beetroot. So we're using a 2% brine. So for a litre of water, that's just 20 grams of salt. So I've just measured out a litre. We won't need all that much, but it's just easier way to do it. So put your on your scales. So I've got some little kitchen scales there. Easy to find. Woolies. Kitchen scales. Pop on your water. Can't really see that, but it's not. It's very self-explanatory. And pop in 20 grams of salt into that water. Just do that. $20 grams of salt in the water. So we're just going to stir that through. And just let that dissolve while we get the beetroot ready. Tip number one, always wear black or an apron. I've many beetroot disasters. So let's just stir that through, and that will then, the salt will all absorb into that water, which is what you want. And that's your brine. It's that simple to make a brine. Then you get your beetroot, and you just want to peel that beetroot just with a potato peeler. It doesn't take very long. So any of these different ferments, it's really great to change them up and have a variety of ferments in your diet. Beetroot is just particularly great for your liver, and our liver is under a lot of burden these days with pesticides and everything in the environment. So any support that you can give your liver is wonderful, and it's just nice to have these things that you can incorporate in your daily routine, and it saves you getting sick down the track. So I've just peeled off the skin off that. I'll chop off that base and any bits that are a bit yuck. So there's your beetroot. What I do is I chop it into wedges. So it's a bit like if you're chop it in half, and then I'm going to chop it into, you can chop it into chunks, but I found this way. I'll see if I can turn that down so you can see. Oh, there we go. Now you can see. Chop it into chunks like that. So we're just going to chop chunks beetroot. And then you get your jar, and what you want to do is try and pack it in so that you just don't want the beetroot to get in contact with any oxygen, because if that happens then you develop mold, and you don't want mold on any of your ferments. So I just sort of wedge it in. So you want it to fill about 1/3 of the jar, so just depending on your jar size, that's all you want to do. And if you kind of wedge it in, they tend to stay down in place, they don't float up to the top. Ah, perfect. Perfect size. See how it's sort of all wedged in like that? That's probably more. That's probably half the jar, but it doesn't matter. It's not a perfect science. So wedge that in. Give it a good squish down like that. Then your brine should be ready to go. See how that's absorbed, or well, mostly, a bit cloudy still, but that's fine. And then you just tip as much as you need. Now fill it almost up to the top, at least to where the shoulder of the jar is. Just leave a little bit of room. So it's filled up to about there. So a good thing to do, if you've got a previous batch of Beet Kvass or even some sauerkraut, put about a tablespoon of that ferment in it and it will just help set this one off. So I'll just put that. So I don't have any kvass, so I've got some sauerkraut that I've made before. So I'm just going to tip a little bit of that, about a tablespoon you need, of that kraut juice in there. And that's just going to set that kvass off nicely, stop any mould forming. I'll even top it up. I like it to top it right up, not right to the top, but just to about there, because it will get a bit of gas and bubble, and you don't want it to explode. So put the lid on nice and tightly, and then put it in a dark sort of room. I put it in the laundry and leave it there. Then label it. So you know, 2 weeks is good. 2 weeks is enough, is all you need, but longer is better. The more microbes will develop after a longer period of time. And if you're a histamine person, longer is better. So I'll label that after, but we'll just crack this one that I've done before. So I'll just tip out, I'll keep that salt water because that's good. That's good as a hydration drink, just drink that salt water anyway. So just get a big jar. What we're going to do is then strain this one that's ready to go. This one I put on from the beginning of September till, we're now middle of October, so this should be good. So I'm going to crack it, hopefully it's not too gassy, and then you need a strainer. So we're going to strain it, just strain the beets out. I'll put it on a bit of a mat in case we have an explosion. Oh no, pretty good. Sometimes they bubble up. So then what we do is we just strain that out. And you have, I'll get that out of the jar later. You throw away those beetroots. And then pour this into a jug in the fridge, and you've got this beautiful drink. It's very earthy tasting, so a little shot, you can drink it just straight down before your meal, which is a really good digestive aid. Like I said, I like to add some sparkling water to a shot and a bit of lime, and it's a beautiful, refreshing drink. So have a go, it's an easy one.